Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, was an American professional boxer and activist. That story coming up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. This is KRT, Critical Race Theory. It's not the one they teach in law school, but the one banned in public schools. In this episode is part 1 of Muhammad Ali, Sting Like a Bee, episode 7. He was nicknamed the greatest. Muhammad Ali is regarded as one of the most significant sports figures in the 20th century and is frequently ranked as the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. In 1999, he was named Sportsman of the Century by Sports Illustrated and the Sports Personality of the Century by the BBC. He was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and began training as an amateur boxer at age 12. At age 18, he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. He became a Muslim after 1961. In 1964, he denounced his birth name as a slave name and formally changed his name to Muhammad Ali. In 1966, Ali refused to be drafted into the military due to his religious beliefs and ethical opposition to the Vietnam War, and was found guilty of draft evasion and stripped of his boxing titles. He stayed out of prison while appealing the decision to the Supreme Court, where his conviction was overturned in 1971. He did not fight for nearly 4 years and lost a period of peak performance as an athlete. Ali's actions as a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War made him an icon for the larger counterculture of the 1960s generation, and he was a very high-profile figure of racial pride for African Americans during the civil rights movement throughout his career. As a Muslim, Ali was initially affiliated with Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam. He later disavowed the NOI, adhering to Sunni Islam. He was a descendant of slaves of the antebellum South and was predominantly of African descent, with some Irish and English family heritage. DNA testing performed in 2018 showed that his maternal great-grandfather, Abe Grady, immigrated from Ennis County, Clare, Ireland. His paternal grandmother was a descendant of a slave, Archer Alexander, who had been chosen from the building crew as the model of a freedman for the Emancipation Memorial and was the subject of abolitionist William Greenleaf Eliot's book, The Story of Archer Alexander, From Slavery to Freedom. His father was a sign and billboard painter, and his mother, Odessa O'Grady Clay, was a domestic helper. Although Cassius Sr. was a Methodist, he allowed Odessa to bring up both Cassius Jr. and his young brother, Rudolph Rudy Clay, later renamed Rahman Ali, as Baptist. Cassius Jr. attended Central High School in Louisville. He was dyslexic, which led to difficulties in reading and writing at school and for much of his life. Ali grew up amid racial segregation. His mother recalled one occasion when he was denied a drink of water at a store. That really affected him. He was also strongly affected by the 1955 murder of Emmett Till. His daughter, Hannah, later wrote that Ali once told her, "Nothing would ever shake me up more than the story of Emmett Till." Outside of boxing, Ali attained success as a spoken word artist. He released 2 studio albums, I Am the Greatest in 1963 and The Adventures of Ali and His Gang versus Mr. Tooth Decay in 1976. Both albums received Grammy Award nominations. He also features as an actor and writer, releasing 2 autobiographies. Ali retired from boxing in 1981 and focused on religion, philanthropy, and activism. In 1984, he made public his diagnosis of Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attributed to boxing-related injuries, though he and his specialist physicians disputed this. He remained an active public figure globally, but in his later years made fewer public appearances as his condition worsened. Ali thrived in the spotlight at a time when many boxers let their managers do the talking. He became renowned for his provocative and outlandish persona. He was famous for trash talking, often freestyling with rhyme schemes and spoken word poetry, incorporating elements of hip-hop.
Well, Henry Cooper's nothing but a tramp. He's a bum. I'm the world's greatest. He must fall in 5 rounds, but if you talk about me, I'll cut it 3. I'll never fight another fella as tough as Doug Jones, not even that big ugly bear Sonny Liston. Well, after I annihilate this Henry Cooper, I want that bear. He might be great, but he'll fall in 8. I'm the prettiest fighter in the ring today. That's my label.
He often predicted in which round he would knock out his opponent. Ali made his professional debut on October 29, 1960, winning a 6-round decision over Tony Hunsaker. From then until the end of 1963, Ali amassed a record of 19-0 with 15 wins by knockout. Ali also beat his former trainer and veteran boxer Archie Moore in 1962. These early fights were not without trials. Ali was knocked down by both Sonny Banks and Henry Cooper. In the Cooper fight, Ali was floored by a left hook at the end of round 4 and was saved by the bell. He went on to win the predicted 5th round due to Cooper's severely cut eye. The fight with Doug Jones on March 13, 1963 was Ali's toughest fight during this stretch. The number 2 and 3 heavyweight contenders respectively, Ali and Jones, fought on Jones's home turf at New York's Madison Square Garden. Jones staggered Ali in the first round, and the unanimous decision for Ali was greeted by boos and a rain of debris thrown into the ring. The fight was later named Fight of the Year by Ring Magazine. In each of these fights, Ali vocally belittled his opponents and vaunted his abilities. He called Jones an ugly little man and Cooper a bum. He said he was embarrassed to get in the ring with Alex Mitteff and claimed that Madison Square Garden was too small for him. Ali's trash talk was inspired by professional wrestler Gorgeous George Wagner. After he saw George's talking ability attract huge crowds to events, Ali stated in a 1969 interview with Associated Press's Hubert Mizell that he met with George in Las Vegas in 1961. George told him that talking a big game would earn paying fans who either wanted to see him win or wanted to see him lose. In 1960, Ali left Moore's camp partially due to his refusal to do chores such as washing dishes and sweeping. To replace Moore, Ali hired Angelo Dundee to be his trainer. Ali met Dundee in February 1957 during Ali's amateur career. Around this time, Ali sought longtime idol Sugar Ray Robinson to be his manager, but was rebuffed. By late 1963, Ali had become the top contender for Sonny Liston's title. The fight was set for February 25, 1964 in Miami Beach. Liston was an intimidating personality, a dominating fighter with a criminal past and ties to the mob. Based on Ali's uninspired performance against Jones and Cooper in his previous 2 fights, and Liston's destruction of former heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson in 2 first-round knockouts, Ali was a 7-1 underdog. Despite this, Ali taunted Liston during the pre-fight build-up, dubbing him the Big Ugly Bear, stating Liston even smells like a bear, and claiming after I beat him, I'm going to donate him to the zoo. Ali turned the pre-fight weigh-in into a circus, shouting at Liston that someone is going to die at ringside tonight. Ali's pulse rate was measured at 120, more than double his normal 54. We'll continue with the results of the fight in part 2 of Muhammad Ali, Sting Like a Bee. This has been Critical Race Theory, Episode 7. Thanks for checking in. Please like and subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. We'll see you next time for part 2 of Muhammad Ali, Sting Like a Bee.